Greetings, philosophers! Today we're kicking off our first episode with a journey into one of the most enduring questions in human history. What does it mean to live a good life? And to answer that, we're turning to a giant of ancient thought, Aristotle, and his masterpiece, the Nicomachean Ethics. Don't worry if that sounds intimidating. We're going to break it down, make it real, and show why it still matters today. So, grab a coffee, settle in, and let's explore the pursuit of happiness Aristotle style. Imagine that you're in ancient Greece around 350 BCE. Athens is buzzing, merchants haggling, politicians debating, and philosophers like Aristotle asking questions that cut to the core of existence. Aristotle, a student of Plato and tutor to Alexander the Great, wasn't just some bearded guy in a toga pontificating in a dull lecture hall. He was a practical thinker, obsessed with figuring out how we can live well, not just in theory, but in the messy reality of everyday life. The Nicomachean Ethics, named after his son Nicomachus, is his guidebook for doing exactly that. It's not about abstract ideals or chasing fleeting pleasures. It's about flourishing, what Aristotle called eudaimonia. That's our starting point today. So, what is eudaimonia? It's often translated as happiness, but that word can mislead us. When we say happiness today, we might think of eating ice cream, binge-watching a show, or getting 1,000 likes on a post. Those are nice, sure, but Aristotle would say they're too shallow, too temporary. Eudaimonia is deeper. It's about living a life that's fulfilling, meaningful, and true to who you are as a human being. It's not a moment, it's a lifelong project. Think of it like tending a garden. You don't just water it once and expect roses. You nurture it, prune it, and watch it grow over time. Aristotle starts with a simple but profound idea. Everything we do aims at some kind of good. Whether you're working a job, helping a friend, or even scrolling through your phone, you're chasing something you think is worth having. Maybe it's money, love, respect, or just a laugh. But Aristotle says all these smaller goods point to one ultimate good, eudaimonia. It's the thing we're all after, even if we don't realize it. The catch? Not everyone agrees on how to get there. Some chase wealth, others fame, others pleasure. Aristotle's not here to judge, he wants to figure out what actually works. To understand this, let's think about what makes humans unique. Aristotle says it's our ability to reason. Dogs bark, birds fly, but humans think, reflect, and choose. So, living well means using our reason to guide our actions in a way that's virtuous. Virtue, for Aristotle, isn't about being a goody two-shoes or following a strict rule book. It's about finding balance in how we act and feel. He calls this the golden mean, the sweet spot between too much and too little. Take courage, for example. Too much courage and you're reckless, jumping into danger without a plan. Too little and you're a coward, paralyzed by fear. The mean is courage itself, acting bravely when it counts, but not foolishly. Let's make this concrete. Imagine you're at work and your boss snaps at you unfairly. You could lash out. That's the excess, letting anger take over. Or you could swallow it and say nothing, bottling it up. That's the deficiency. The virtuous mean? Maybe it's speaking up calmly, addressing the issue without escalating the drama. It's not easy, and Aristotle knows it. Virtue takes practice. It's like learning to play the guitar. You don't nail a solo on day one. You practice, mess up, adjust, and get better over time. This idea of balance applies to all kinds of virtues: generosity, honesty, even humor. Ever met someone who's stingy, hoarding every penny? Or someone who's so extravagant they're broke by payday? Generosity, Aristotle says, is giving the right amount to the right people at the right time. It's not a formula, it's a judgment call, and that's where reason comes in. You've got to think about the situation, weigh your options, and act with intention. That's what makes humans special. We don't just react, we choose. Now let's pause for a second and think about our own lives. We're bombarded with messages about what the good life looks like. Buy this car, get that job, post the perfect selfie. But Aristotle would ask, are those things really getting you to eudaimonia? Take social media. It's fun, sure, but if you're chasing likes to feel good about yourself, you might be stuck in a cycle of temporary highs, not flourishing. Compare that to, say, volunteering at a local shelter or mastering a skill you love. Those take effort, but they build something lasting, a sense of purpose, a life well lived. Aristotle's not saying pleasure is bad, by the way. He's no killjoy. A good meal, a laugh with friends, these are part of the good life. But they're not the whole deal. If you make pleasure your ultimate goal, you're like a kid eating candy for dinner. It feels great until you're sick and empty. The trick is to align your pleasures with your virtues. Enjoy that meal, but share it with people you care about. Laugh, but don't mock others to get there. It's about building habits that make you a better person, not just a happier one in the moment. Another key piece of Aristotle's puzzle is community. He calls humans political animals, meaning we're built to live together, not in isolation. Your virtues, your courage, generosity, honesty, don't just help you, they make your community stronger. Think about a time you helped a friend through a tough spot or stood up for what's right. That's not just good for you, it ripples outward. Aristotle would say, a good life isn't just about your own eudaimonia, it's about helping others flourish too. Let's bring this home with a modern example. Imagine someone training for a marathon. They don't just wake up and run 26 miles, they train for months, balancing effort and rest, pushing through pain but not to the point of injury. They eat well, not because they hate pizza, but because it fuels their goal. That's Aristotle's ethics in action, discipline, balance, and a clear aim. Running the race well, not just finishing first. Now swap the marathon for life. The good life isn't about winning or being the best. It's about running your race with purpose, day after day. In today's world of quick fixes and instant gratification, his ideas pull us back to the long game. He reminds us that flourishing isn't about what you have, it's about who you become. It's about building habits of virtue, using your reason to navigate life's ups and downs and contributing to the people around you. It's not always easy, but that's the point. As Aristotle might say, the good life is a craft and you're the artist. Before we wrap up, let's try a little thought experiment. Think about one choice you made today, maybe how you handled a tricky conversation or decided how to spend your time. Ask yourself, was I aiming for balance? Was I using my reason to choose well? If not, no judgment. That's just a chance to practice tomorrow. Aristotle's not about perfection. He's about progress. That's all for today. We've only scratched the surface of Aristotle's Nicomachean ethics, but I hope you're starting to see why it's been a guide for centuries. Next time, we'll dig deeper into how Aristotle thinks we can actually become virtuous. Spoiler. It's all about practice. If you enjoyed this, give us a like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What's your take on the good life? Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and let's chase that eudaimonia together.